Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Will Trades, and in today's video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know to get started in trading in 2025. We're already 3 months into this year, which is absolutely crazy. I'm already up over $40,000 on year to date in 3 months, which again, I'm super blessed, super grateful for, and we're just rocking and rolling. So today I'm going to explain not just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or just use this strategy, or good luck and just use that strategy. No. I'm going to explain everything you need to know to get started from step 1 to step 100. So go ahead, take notes, watch this video 1,000 times over, enjoy, sit back, have your coffee or whatever that may be, and let's just hop on into the charts. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let's start rocking and rolling. Sweet. So we're in the charts, we're ready to rock and roll here. And so what you guys see on my screen is TradingView. Now, there's so many platforms to use: TradingView, Thinkorswim, Top Step X if you're choosing prop firms. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of different applications that you can choose. So before we even get into the, hey, how do you trade? What do you need to look for? What is this? What is that? What prop applications do we need to have to trade? So again, you guys can use TradingView. It's go to Google, type in TradingView. That's how you use charts like this. You can use Thinkorswim with Charles Schwab, which are a very, very good platform. Or go to Top Step, or even Take Profit Trader. Those are prop firms, which pretty much means you spend a little bit of money and be able to trade prop firm capital. It's a less risk-free trade than risking your own capital. I do have other videos explaining what prop firms are, how to set up your charts, and so forth. So in really this video is really just to get you kind of into the space of just how do you trade, not the technical factors, not the application steps, not that. It's just all about trading. So for this video, I am going to be using TradingView to demonstrate, kind of talk about strategies and all that good stuff. It is a little easier just to teach you guys and so forth. So obviously we're future traders. We trade futures. We trade the NASDAQ. That's my bread and butter. That's my cup and tea. That is all I trade, and that's all I'm going to ever trade. Okay. And before I even get into that, why will you be like, well, why do you trade the same thing every single day? Does that make sense? Why do you do that? Well, because you want to make trading as simple and as easy as possible. If you guys are looking at 15 different stocks at the same time, you guys are having 3 different strategies, another 10 different indicators on your charts, and you have this, that, and this, and it can get very, very confusing, very, very overwhelming, and you're just kind of like all over the place, kind of like, Will, what? And so when I tell people to make trading simplistic, I literally mean make trading simplistic. So I trade the same thing, I use the same strategies, I have no indicators on my chart. All I do is go based off of key levels, trend, and price action. That is it. Simple, straight to the point to make that money. Okay, so what you guys see on my screen, this is the NASDAQ, this is NQ, this is what I trade, this is my baby. Okay, and so let's just break this down. The first thing that you guys have to understand and find is a strategy. After you guys master one strategy, which I'm about to give you guys today, then the next thing we have to work on is risk management. If we can't control the risk, no matter how good our strategy is going to be, we're still going to lose money. And then the last important step into this is obviously emotional psychology and mental. So I'm going to be talking about the strategy, risk management, and then emotional psychological things that traders always struggle with to take these trades. So first thing, strategy. Now, when I look on my chart here, when I look on the NASDAQ, we can see this is the 1 day time frame. Well, obviously you can see up here, you can change the time frames. This is 1 day, which kind of means each candlestick represents 1 day of price action. All right. And the very, very first thing I want to kind of look at is zoom out on the bigger picture. Okay. I want to see kind of, okay, where is market going? Are we in kind of a standstill? Are we making higher highs, higher lows? Pretty much, which means are we going up, down, or sideways? That's the easiest thing, just up, down, sideways, okay? And as of right now, what is the kind of the NASDAQ doing? Well, we had a huge pullback recently in the market, okay? And now these last couple of days, we kind of slowly grabbed to the upside, and now we're just kind of consolidating here in a standstill. We're just kind of in a kind of a trend from consolidational trend from what is this 2134 to like 19620. We've been kind of just trading sideways. So once we finally get out of this consolidational range, I really do believe we have a lot more room to the upside. Now, before I jump ahead here, that's the very first thing we want to look at. Okay, market's trading sideways right now. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go zoom in just a little bit. See, okay, what is now going to happen? I want to look for key levels in the market, which means basic levels of support and resistance. Now, you're gonna be like, well, what do you mean support and resistance? What is support and resistance? Well, resistance pretty much means where there's key levels of change. When price hits this certain level, it falls. Or support, when price hits a certain level, it shoots up. So we can see here, all these levels right here, all these levels right here, what happens when we touch these points? We sell off. What happens when we touch these points? We go higher. So in this example, that's what I'm kind of looking at on a bigger time frame. Now we're on the 4 hour. Now a 4 hour support or resistance level is going to mean a heck of a lot more than a 1 minute, here's a 1 minute time frame, support and resistance level. Okay, so if we can break out of a 4 hour resistance or a 4 hour support, this is going to have a lot more room to continue going to that next level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my horizontal line, which is right here, and I'm just going to draw a line at this level of resistance. Now you're going to say, Will, do you put it on the wick or do you put it on the body? I always do the wick because that's where price went to. That's where at least price never closed at, but price at least went to this level. So when price actually finally breaks out of this 2104 level, we can see really, really good movement to the upside. Now, market is closed. I am recording this on a Saturday, so it's pretty nice so that market's kind of at a standstill. So then the next thing I'm going to do is now draw my main level of support at where currently the price is at. Price is trading right here, so that main key level of the 4 hours is going to be at that 2104 level. That main level of support, or this is resistance support, sorry, is going to be right here at 19,598. Okay, and we can see perfectly we have a touch point here, 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 and then all right here. So this is a very, very, very valid level of support, which means if we do break below this, we can see price probably fall pretty drastically. Now, as of right now, price is shooting up very strong. We have a lot of buyers. So then you're gonna be like, well, Will, if we can break out of this, what's that next level of resistance? How much room do we have until price starts slowing down or price starts falling again? Well, all we're going to do is look at past data. So if I just slide on over here on the same time frame, the 4 hour, I'm going to see we have resistance all right here. So I'm going to get my horizontal line again, and I'm going to draw my next level of resistance right here. So you guys can see we have room from 2104 all the way to 2283. Now this is almost a 100+ point move. Am I trying to gain a 100+ point move in every single trade? No. That's not the goal. We're scalpers. I'm a scalper. I'm an intraday day trader. I don't swing stuff. So what I'm now going to do is now I'm going to go drop down on the time frame, which go to the, say, the 2 hour, and we can see, okay, what do we got here? We got main level resistance. We can even fix it a little bit. Oh, that's good. Main level resistance, main level support. Okay. Now I still don't want to draw any more support or resistance levels. Like there's no reason to. I mean, we could draw one right here just to say, okay, if price comes to here, let's see what happens. Maybe this could be a first half position to fully go into full take position size here. But as right, so we can add one right here. Now, if we go to the next time frame, what do we see? This is a 15-minute time frame. Well, we obviously don't want to just continue drawing 1,000 lines on our charts, but the next key level that I'm probably looking for is going to be right here. Okay, and then the next key level after that is going to be right here. And how am I drawing these? Why is this a key level and this a key level? Well, we can see on a 15-minute time frame, this is a valid level of support. On a 15-minute time frame, this is a valid level of resistance. So if price does want to fall back down here, we can see, okay, will price hold above this level or price break below it? Okay, so all these key levels, that's what I'm talking about. We have to identify trend and we have to identify key levels. So go ahead, you can pause this video, you can look and just go to different time frames and draw those main levels of resistance and those main levels of support. Okay, now I'm going to delete all these levels. I'm going to move on and take a break from this and move on to trend. Okay, how can we identify trend? Well, market, just like I told you, up, down, sideways, right? Market moves in higher highs, lower, higher lows. So here's a low, here's a higher low, here's a higher low, here's a higher low, here's a higher low. Okay? Now, with this, what is this? Consolidation. Okay? Equal highs, equal lows. And this is when kind of I say market moves sideways. Buyers and sellers are on a standstill. They don't want to push the price higher. They don't want to push the price lower. So they're going to go ahead and just trade this sideways. This is kind of the death zone of day traders. We do not want to be in a market that trades sideways. It's very, very hard to trade. There's going to be a lot more wicks, a lot more uncertainty, and we're probably going to get stopped out of a lot of our positions. So we do not want to be in this area. Now the last, obviously, trend in the market is lower lows, lower highs, a downtrend, right? Here's a lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. And that's all the market does. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so from here, right, we have to now identify this on actual charts. Okay, so let me go ahead and remove these drawings. Let's go back onto the charts. And so, for example, what is this? This is an uptrend. Okay, we have a low, higher low, higher low. Okay, we have a high, higher high, higher high. Boom, uptrend. Okay, now what is a downtrend look like? We can see perfect example right here. We have a what? Higher low, or high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low, and lower low. Okay, so this instance, when I see this is pre-market, you guys are wondering where this light blue area is and this darker blue area, this is pre-market, and then this is actually market open. Okay, so I'm gonna be like, when I wake up in the morning before market opens here, I'm kind of like, okay, pre-market is bearish, we're selling off. So if we can, what's the key level for something to break for us to have the next push to the downside? Well, if we break this pre-market low, we probably have a pretty nice move to what? Ding, 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 the downside. So we can catch this. Now, obviously this happened before market open, so I actually missed the play when I traded this with my team. By the way, if you guys actually want to trade live with me every single day, be able to learn the strategy and do one-on-ones with me, that will be down below, access to my chat, okay? So then I'm like, okay, what's that next main level of support before price will actually reverse? Well, all we got to do, go to the bigger time frame and look right here. We fell all the way down to this area right here. And if I just move on over, look what happened. We bounced off of this level of support to the T. So if I go back to the 15-minute time frame, obviously, if we entered here, take profit would have been here. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful entry. But now since we hit this level of support, I'm like, okay, if we can break below here, we can continue shorting. Well, in this case scenario, we never broke below here, so I'll be now looking for a long position. Well, then you're gonna be like, Will, when would you look for a long position? When is that main level that you want to look for? Well, this was previous level of what? Support that became resistance. So I'm like, if we can break above this, we can probably find a very quick scalp to the upside. What happened? We fell on, we take the trade, key level entry, and we play that move to what? Next level of resistance, which would be ding, 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 right here. Okay, so, and that's all I do. I'm a scalper. I hold these trades from maybe 1 to 5 minutes. I identify trend, identify key points of interest, and play those trades. Now, you guys understand trend, you guys understand key levels of interest. Now the next thing we have to do is talk about what? Risk management. How do we control our risk? Now, if you guys are using prop firms, most of you guys are using 50K accounts, what does that mean? That means you only have $2,000 worth of drawdown. Okay, cool. Again, what does that mean? $2,000 worth of drawdown means, I would say, imagine you have $2,000 you put into account. Real $2,000 of your money you put into account. Okay, that means if you lose that, it's gone. So should you guys be trading $500 to $600 max position size loss, that means you're losing over more than half, almost half your account in one trade. That's not smart, right? So you should be risking maybe 5 to 10% per position, right? Which would be what? $150 to $200 per move. Until you start building that cushion to have bigger drawdowns to trade with heavier size. Now you don't just start at the top, you have to work your way higher. So for instance, if I'm looking to take a long break here, right? And let's go to a small time frame so you guys can see how back this move is actually really, really, really decent, right? Consolidate, break, consolidate, actually break, boom, take longs. We hit that. Where would our controlled stop loss be, right? We want to have always a risk to reward. If we risk $100, we should make $200. If we risk $300, we should make $600. Okay. So in this example, if I enter here, my stop loss obviously is going to be versus that dollar ratio, which means it comes with position sizing, how many contracts can I afford to trade this position. But I'm not just going to put my stop loss right here. Now you're going to be like, Will, it's very tight. It's good. If it comes back down, you get stopped off, right? But if you look just over, look how wiki we are. I'm not going to get out of the trade unless the market tells me, Will, you are wrong. The trend is not in your direction. That's why position sizing is so clear. Because if you're like, okay, fine. Well, trend doesn't really end unless you break below here. So I'm going to hold it from here to here. Well, you have to understand, well, if you're going to lose $600, $700 from here to here on this position, that's kind of a bad ROR. Now, if you're only putting in 2 contracts, now you're only risking $200.
that makes sense, right? So because again, if you can see price broke here, what happened? It actually was invalid. It was invalidated. So in this example right here, this makes sense to put the stop loss right there. Always put your stop loss when trend direction's over. You don't want to just get out. Oh my gosh, I'm down 30 bucks. I'm going to get out. Like, why? Just because you're freaking out because you're down? That comes in psychology. So get out when the price of market changes direction. All right, and that's what I do every single day. Now the last key point, and the last thing I kind of want to mention to you guys, psychology, emotions. How can we control our emotions, not freak out, not have our palms sweat, and all that stuff? Well, the first thing we have to do is control our position sizing. So you don't want to see $100 if you can't afford it go up and down. Only play trades that make sense. Stick to your strategy. If you're just trading because the market goes up and the market goes down, or you just have a feeling, that makes no sense. That's going to help with your mental. And the next thing, guys, trading is not to get rich quick scheme. It's not. You're not going to make $20,000 your first week trading. Can you? Is it possible? Well, yeah, if you just go crazy and over leverage and just trade 1,000 times a day, but that's not realistic. It's not sustainable. You guys are going to probably lose all of it. It takes time. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's for the long haul. Small profits equal big profits over time. Consistency is a lot more important than making those big gains in one day. And that's why I tell my students every single day, slow down, enjoy the process. Don't just rush into a prop firm or your own money. Paper trade, simulation trade, relax. Okay, so again, I'm going to wrap things up here. If you guys have more questions, just leave them down below in the comments. And then as well, if you want to live trade with me Monday to Friday, I show you guys my entries, my exits. If you guys want to actually have one-on-ones with me and actually be a part of my trading community, that will be down in the link below. But again, that is a very, very fast pace and the thing that I look for every single morning. The strategy is simple. I don't trade ICT. I don't trade SMT. All this stuff is no bueno. I don't like it. Never will touch it. No. So you guys can hate on me for that. I do not care. But the strategy has proven to me to win every single day for the last 6 years when I've been trading. So have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys later.